I love that we got into groups again. We did like different activities where we again found what are some of the reasons why students engage in vaping, which was good to kind of get other teachers' opinion on why students are motivated to vape, and a lot of it was to do with like peer pressure or wanting to look cool and stuff, and finding out the motivation behind it so we can kind of be championing change and eliminating vaping from students.
I really enjoyed the opportunity, particularly with our wellbeing team, to get together as a team and really take a good amount of time to sit down and discuss the issues that were happening and really make it a focus point. It was nice to hear everybody's perspectives and information, and it just reinforced the message that we were, we did have a common goal, and it was good to sort of understand some of the things we could try to tackle the e-cigarette smoking.
I enjoyed being part of the study, so I got to be part of all sections of our community. In terms of the staff survey, it was really interesting to hear about what staff's perceptions of vaping were, and also to be able to contrast that with what the student and the parents' perceptions were about vaping and how much each group knew about the subject. We got some really interesting information back.
Well, it gave us a bit of a forced push to get moving on some of these things. Like, it's not a new issue. The e-cigarette smoking, the vaping in schools has been a growing concern for a number of years. So it really gave us the leverage to do something, take action. I really enjoyed the opportunity to, yes, meet with the staff, but also obviously you guys met with the kids, and that was a good opportunity to do work on the ground there. But we had a very small Zoom with a number of parents, even though it was a small audience. It was an important thing to do to hear what the parents had to say about the issue, and they had some genuine concerns. I think there was a lot of emotion around it, and it really heightened the fact that we were, doing some good things, but needed to do more.
Yeah, I thought that you had a really good, powerful group of parents on. Yeah, and definitely
we took down the vape shop up the top of the street.
Oh my God,
that's now closed. So that's a breakthrough. And that came out of that meeting, that information. Yeah,
I was really excited to take part. I feel like for myself personally, I was part of a generation where smoking was huge when I was young, and I think that there have been a number of policies and programs that have come through that have really started to limit the numbers of people smoking and change the perception of smoking in our community. So I was really concerned when vaping and the use of e-cigarettes started to become really popular, and particularly when big tobacco companies were targeting young people and teenagers deliberately with vaping products. So I was really excited to be part of something that was starting to address that issue.
Takeaway message would be the consequences of vaping, what motivates students to vape, and how as teachers it's not just about confiscating it, but like I said before, championing change, like trying to find out the reason why they vape so we can get them to stop altogether, and learning as a whole school how we can kind of go about creating change in the school for that.
A number of our PDHPE staff and inclusive education staff got together. We gave them some time release to develop a high quality lesson that was delivered universally across the whole school at the same time. A 45-minute lesson. It was powerful, dynamic. Kids, it was dynamic because kids were talking about it in the playground straight after and throughout the day. So we were delivering the same message across the whole school at the same time. I then communicated that lesson to the parents as well for a follow-up conversation around the dinner table that night. And look, it seemed to go down quite well, a lot of positive feedback from it. So then we invited the primary schools to have our staff come out to the primary schools and be delivered the similar lesson. So a few primary schools in the local area took us up on that, and they were appreciative of that as well. And it's obviously something that we're going to do every year with key, wellbeing issues. So, what we're doing with the the vaping lesson across the whole school, which we will do again this term. We will do other things like an e-safety lesson across the whole school. That format seemed to work, where everyone's getting slammed with the same message at the same time. Yeah, it was impactful.
Yeah, so being part of the study has been really helpful because we've been able to be armed with information about vaping, so we can present that at school assemblies and through school programs. We've been able to introduce an amnesty where we've been collecting some of the vaping products that kids have got their hands on, and we've been able to send that off to Wollongong University to get some testing. We've been able to learn more about some of the harmful ingredients in the vapes, and we've also been able to then talk to kids and educate them about what's in vapes, and also get them in touch with programs to help them understand more from an educational perspective, and also help with quitting vaping as well.
Great.